A month ago, the future looked bleak for the Colorado Mammoth. After losing 3 straight games, they were sitting at the bottom of the West Division. Fast forward to April, and it's a whole new outlook. Shot scores! After 3 straight wins against divisional opponents, they have their sights set on something that didn't seem fathomable a month ago, a possible home playoff game. With 4 games left, the march to the playoffs starts now. And next in line, another divisional opponent, the Saskatchewan Rush. It's the final stretch, the Rush and the Mammoth, next on Altitude Sports and BR Live.
Spring in Denver means NLL playoffs are just around the corner. The Mammoth and the Rush in Lacrosse Out Camp tonight, a West Division power matchup. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome inside the Pepsi Center along former Mammoth player Jamie Shuchuk. My name's Teddy Jarrett. Thanks for joining us here on Altitude and BR Live. And the message is simple. Win, and you're in for the Colorado Mammoth.
Yeah, it's a great time of year, Teddy. We always talk about how important every game is, but the Mammoth just need to get that one win, and also too, if they continue their momentum after winning 3 in a row, they're going to put themselves in great position for that third, even possibly the second spot in the West.
Tonight is a very special night for many reasons. It is the 10th annual Lacrosse Out Cancer Game, and this is a night that every player looks forward to, and it means so much here to the Mammoth Club.
Yeah, it's so special. Teddy, everybody, lacrosse players, fans, everybody's been touched by this terrible disease, and it's great to see the Mammoth. I played in these games. It's very special putting on that jersey. I know the players are fired up to be able to put on these special jerseys tonight.
Only a few more weeks left in the National Lacrosse League regular season, so every game that much more important than the previous one. So let's take a look at the West standings as they sit right now. 3 teams have qualified: San Diego, Saskatchewan, and Calgary. Colorado has mentioned one more win or a Vancouver loss, and they booked their spot. But the way they're playing, they have their sights on getting higher up in those standings.
Yeah, and it's been great to see the play of Eli McLaughlin up front. And we saw Steve Fryer come in last weekend and play well for the Colorado Mammoth. But starting with number 51, he's been the most consistent Mammoth player. He's the energy guy up front, and he's definitely blooming. With Sean Williams and the offensive coordinator.
34 points in his last 5 games, including 12 against Vancouver in the last home game. And Eli just has really found himself a role as the #1 offensive threat.
Yeah, and talking to the coaching staff this year, they're so pleased with the way that Eli's played, and he's in the best shape he's ever been in his career. He's that quiet guy in the locker room, but the way he plays, he has that energy, and he gets the crowd here fired up, and that's gonna be very important tonight.
At the other end of the floor, Mark Matthews, the 2018 MVP and leading scorer with 116 points. He's 7th in the league right now, and this guy very much like John Grant in size, stature, and stick skills.
Yeah, I would agree with that. He's definitely has the stick skills. Comparable to John Grant Jr., but he's more of a pass first kind of guy, and the way that this Rush offense is built is moving that ball around, and Mark Matthews is definitely the key, and the ball goes through number 42.
It is a clash of the Titans here from Denver. It is going to be a huge Western Division matchup. It's the Rush and the Mammoth as we all try and Lacrosse Out Cancer. The NLL on Altitude Sports and BR Live is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com to see how much you could save. And by the Ford F-150. Get the truck that was made to work. Ford F-150. Built better, built stronger, built Ford tough. Back inside the Pepsi Center as we get you ready for this West Division clash between the Mammoth and the Rush. Colorado's won 3-0. They're looking to make it 4, and no better place than here at home. A very special pregame ceremonial face-off down to Big Rob, the Mammoth play-by-play PA announcer.
Please give a loud house welcome to Steph Miller and Haley Faulkner. Steph is from T, South Dakota, and has lived in Denver since 2016. When Steph was 12 years old, she supported her brother in his fight against cancer and realized that nursing was her calling. Steph will celebrate 3 years of nursing at Rocky Mountain Hospital for Children this June. Haley is from Westminster, Colorado. From a young age, Haley's goal was to become a pediatric oncology nurse. Her goal was born from the experience of supporting her older brothers who both battled cancer at 16 years old. Haley made a goal her reality and has now worked as a nurse at Rocky Mountain Hospital for Children for 2.5 years. At this time, we ask that Colorado Captain Dan Coates and Saskatchewan Captain Chris Corbeil join us at center field for a ceremonial face-off with oncology nurses Steph and Haley. Thank you to the Rocky Mountain Hospital for Children for sponsoring tonight's Lacrosse Out Cancer game. Rocky Mountain Hospital for Children, where amazing happens every day. And thank you, Loud House, for your support the last 10 years.
What a wonderful opening ceremony there. Time now for our starting goaltenders, brought to you by Ford. Dylan Ward versus Adam Shute, who is in to replace the injured Evan Kirk. A great goaltenders battle tonight.
Yeah, 100%. We've seen what Dylan Ward can do this year. He's been consistent in the back end. Obviously, that record isn't where he wants to be, but definitely a good matchup here tonight.
Dylan Ward has been up and down, I guess you could say, but he started to find his game as of late, and this rush defense is really helping out as well.
Well, I think too, as the defense goes, I think it gives Dylan Ward even that much more confidence, and it goes to show you the way this defense is playing. Doesn't matter who's in the net, with the play of Steve Fryer there last week.
To the face-off dot, a big match. We will watch Jeremy Thompson and Tim Edwards, as there's Dylan Ward in that sharp pink and white Lacrosse Out Cancer jersey with all proceeds and money raised going to the Rocky Mountain Hospital for Children. Thompson, 57%, Edwards, 56%. And I asked him, Edwards, what was more important, the clamp or the loose ball team? And he said it's going to be the loose ball team tonight. So here we go, your officials, Chris Williams, Josh Hiltz, and Sean Grenier. Colorado has possession. We'll look to get into the offensive zone, but Jake Rouet has to backtrack, and he's going to fire it into the crowd. And not exactly the first kind of possession they were looking for. So here comes the West #2 team, the Saskatchewan Rush. They are the defending champions, and there is the reigning NLL Cup MVP, Jeff Shatner. Church, Ryan Keenan, son of head coach and GM Derek Keenan. Church, bounce shot, save, Dylan Ward. And that's a good early confidence save for Dylan Ward.
Yeah, it was great. I think the key is that the Saskatchewan Rush offense is so mobile. Everybody cuts the middle. We talk about Mark Matthews being the distributor, but he gets through the middle too, and it's an offense by committee with these five guys up front for the Rush.
Here's Eli. Gets a pick from Wittig, skips it over to Lee, back to Eli. McLaughlin shot off the shoulder of Adam Shute, resets to 30. Good possession here for Colorado to start. Wittig into the corner, Eli McLaughlin leads the team in scoring, 9th in the National Lacrosse League as he continues to have a career year across the board. McLaughlin, watched there by Jordy Jones-Smith. Far side Killen, check that, Jacob Rouet. 5 on the shot clock, Rouet with a bounce shot, loose ball in the corner. Ryan Lee thought he'd go for it, but it'll be picked up there by Hossack. And he will sprint up the floor, and here comes Saskatchewan on the offensive floor. Curtis Knight. Dinsdale. Dinsdale gets a pick from Church, skips it over to Matthews. He takes a pick from Shatler's shot. That hit Ian Lord in front. That's a key place for Ian Lord to be right in front of the cage, soaking shots and making the save instead of Dylan Ward. Between the benches, John Gallant, an early start here for both clubs. Defense is playing well.
They are, guys, and it's going to be key for that defense to keep everybody out of the middle here. I do like how Colorado's moving this ball. I'll let you call this one here, Teddy.
Thompson on a breakaway, all alone, slows the pace. Shot, great, sticks it. Oh, and another save of the ball in the crease. As Dylan Ward with 2 big saves keep this one scoreless.
Finishing there, I like how Colorado's moving the ball here. Saskatchewan is a big team, top to bottom here. And I like how they're going east to west, creating a lot of picks. If they slow it down, the Saskatchewan rush defense is going to take control.
Wittig, shot, Rouet, nice hit. Holy rebound, put it off the post. How did he miss? Loose ball picked up by Rubin. Felix, McIntosh, late man, shot, shoulder save. And McIntosh will slow it up. Church. Ben McIntosh, second on the team in points, leads the team in goals with 29. Another early save by Dylan Ward. He's quickly made 4 here in the opening 3.5 minutes. Schattler carries, gives it off to Church. Now Matthews again, pump fake, works inside, flips it up to Schattler, shot, save, Ward, loose ball. And the Rush are gonna get another new 30. So both offenses doing a good job here early on, Shuey, of getting shots on net and second opportunities.
Yeah, great opportunities for both teams. I like the energy that they both have coming out of the gate.
Church shot got through Ward, but ricocheted off the post. Matthews, watched there by Garetano. Inside feed, shot, that one goes wide, ball loose. Who's gonna come up with it? And it's gonna be Robert Hope. VR Live makes watching live sports easy. Download or visit to watch all of the NLL action and more with VR Live. Hello to all of you watching us live now across North America on VR Live. Thank you for tuning in. Here's Killen. Inside feed. Dunk shot. Oh, Wittig put it past Adam Shute and just wide.
Yeah, we saw Wittig score a goal like that on the road a few weeks ago, and you can see on the replay here, he had Shute down on his knees. He had that far top corner open. He just missed the net a little bit wide.
Both offenses jumping here in the early going. Curtis Knight, watched there by Lord. Over to Matthews, shot, save, Ward. And Dylan Ward will give it off to Joey Capito. He'll get across center, leave it there for Chris Wardle. McLaughlin. Rush pick by Wardle. McLaughlin shot, saved by Shute, loose ball. And a big crowd there by Jeremy Thompson. Adam Shute came in 3 games ago during the Buffalo game for Saskatchewan after starting goaltender Evan Kirk got injured, and he's given them some good minutes. And he's already off to a hot start, just like Dylan Ward, his counterpart at the other end. Shot goes wide. That came off the stick of Ryan Keenan, picked up by Curtis Knight. 8 on the shot clock. Oh, that hit the junction and straight down. Loose ball. Garetano couldn't find it. Church battling. And good pressure here by Garetano, who runs in to Jeff Schattler and causes the turnover. And looks like Saskatchewan's going to challenge the shot by Knight as Keenan throws the flag. And Chris Williams will have to come in and review this one. Here's a look at head coach and GM Derek Keenan, one of the best in the history of the game at that position, and he just continues to reload this Rush team year after year.
Yeah, it's been amazing to see what Keenan's been able to do, and the question here, what he's challenging is, if the ball hits the crossbar and gets behind the line, I don't think
it's anywhere
no,
close.
Looking at that angle.
There's the hit by Garetano. Yeah, this looked like it hit junction and came straight out. Obviously, if maybe Derek Keenan thought it hit underneath the crossbar inside the posts, but here's a good look. Not so good, actually. Unfortunately, as Dylan Ward went across to make that save, but it just got past him. And yeah, I think this one just goes bar and straight down.
Oh,
there's the look right there. Yeah. Never in, never close. So Derek Keenan's going to lose this challenge, and he'll lose his first half timeout. And that could be key later on in this half. We mentioned that Colorado's won 3 in a row. Well, against Saskatchewan, they haven't been very good in the last little while. They've lost 10 of the last 12, including 7 straight to the Rush.
Well, we've seen the run that the Rush have been on in the past several years, and talking about what Keenan's been able to build there. in Saskatchewan, championship teams, and very, very challenging for this Mammoth squad who has been rebuilding over the last couple seasons. And this seems like the Rush and the Calgary Roughnecks are always kind of in the way. The question is for fans, is this the year?
So this is going to be ruled no goal. We will go to break, come back, 9:25 remaining here in the first quarter. 0-0 is your score, Rush and Mammoth from Denver.
One Rush and the Colorado Mammoth are tied at 0 here in the first quarter. Speaking with Colorado Mammoth head coach Pat Coyle before the game, he spoke about how important this game is. All year they talked about gaining swagger, gaining some confidence. They're playing the best lacrosse they've played all season, winning their last 3, but they've never faced this type of team yet in about a month here. The Saskatchewan Rush 4 times in the National Championship Series. The size and speed of this Saskatchewan team is what gives head coach Pat Coyle some concern here tonight.
Thanks, Johnny, and you're right. Jamie and I were talking about this before the game. Colorado has to do a good job of crashing the middle, make these big bodies move. Here's McLaughlin. Rouet down to Killen. Oh, Wardle's open in the middle. Wardle shot. Oh, he just put it over top of the net. And that's 2 or 3 chances Colorado's had and just unable to beat Adam Shute. Now, Vitarelli caused the turnover. Smart move there just to keep that ball loose because he's going to get the 8-second call.
Yeah, it was very intelligent play there, and great set there for the Mammoth offense. And Wardle just sets a great, you can see the replay there, Vitarelli strips him and then just keeps it loose, get that reset. But yeah, great setup there. It's Wardle doing what he does off ball.
McLaughlin to Ryan Lee. Rouet, pump fake, gives it off to McLaughlin. Now there's Vitarelli. Isolated with Rubish, gets it far side, Rouet. He'll carry down low. Rouet rolls up top, 7 on the shot clock. Lee, shot, takes a deflection. Rouet has it. Can he put one on net? Tried to backhand one into Vitarelli, but it'll be a shot clock violation. But another good offensive possession for the Mammoth. Here comes Ben McIntosh. Down to Marty Dinsdale. Late man is Matthews. He has it now. Far half boards into the corner. Shatler. Church. Nice check there by Julian Garitano. He's had a nice start to this contest. Dinsdale into the corner. McIntosh. Watched by Coates. Inside feed. Shatler scores. Off ball cut from Shatler. Great hands inside. He beats Dylan Ward. 1-0 Rush. 8 minutes to go in the opening quarter.
Well, you just see the chemistry and the confidence that these Rush offensive players have. Not a lot of space there. You got defender draped all over in Carnegie, all over Shatler, but a nice catch and a nice release, and we've seen number 77 do that over the years.
Shatler ties McIntosh for the team leading goals with his 29th of the season, and like a fine wine, Shatler keeps getting older but keeps getting better somehow.
Well, and yeah, I believe he was transition player of the year.
And an MVP.
And an MVP a few years back. And yeah, the guy's just the complete lacrosse player. He literally just knows his game, and he's a great off-ball player. He's just very intelligent. Great pickup by Derek Keenan and the Saskatchewan Rush last season.
Shatler from McIntosh and Dinsdale at 7 minutes. Here's Ryan Lee. Late man Rouet. Lee gives it off to Killen. 13 on the shot clock. Killen drives, push back out, tried to flip it up to Wittig, and this will be an over in the back violation. And be grabbed there by the captain, Chris Corbeil. Curtis Knight. Knight isolated there on Lentz, comes up top, gives it to Matthews with a head of steam off the bench. But unable to get through the middle. Nice defense there by Tim Edwards. Shot there, nice defensive stick work by the Mammoth to knock that loose ball down. 6 on the shot clock. Colorado wisely again just gonna keep this ball loose, wait for the whistle, and take possession up the floor as Stewart and Curtis Knight mix it up. All the lacrosse out-cancer jerseys and shorts that you're seeing being worn by the Mammoth players tonight are being auctioned off for you to own. Put on these items from tonight's game. Visit mammoth.com and givesmart.com. Get online. Try to get mammoth.com. Mammoth.givesmart.com. Get online now because the auction ends at halftime. All proceeds go to local cancer-related charities. One more time, mammoth.givesmart.com. Good chance there by Colorado. But Adam Shute again holds his post and keeps Colorado off the board. Church, Dinsdale. Comes around the top, skips it over to Matthews, right back to Dinsdale. He tries to get underneath. Good defense there by Hook. Shot by Dinsdale, turned aside by the wall.
Yeah, we saw Dylan Ward step out to that shot. Before Dinsdale even released it, he saw that screenshot coming and stepped right out and made the save.
Wittig, picked up by Rubish. Lee into the corner, Killen. High screen, back to Wittig near side. He drives underneath. Flip in, skip. Wittig's open in the middle, can't get it. 5 on the shot clock. Pass knocked down by an active stick of Kyle Rubish, the 4-time NLL Defender of the Year. Beatty. Johnny?
Sorry, Saskatchewan's starting to figure out Colorado's rotation a little bit, getting those sticks in lanes. Colorado's starting nice and wide, but they're being kept out that wide.
Shatler, stutter step drive. Tried to find McIntosh, that pass goes awry. Loose ball. Picked up by Knight. 3 on the shot clock. Knight takes a shot, saved by Dylan Ward. And you're right, Johnny, I noticed that the Mammoth defense starting out wide, but Chewy, they gotta get to the middle of the floor. They did it in the early on, but now they gotta keep at it.
Yeah, and that's the key. We talked about, one of the reasons for success in this last run that they've had is they've had good starts. And we saw at the beginning of the year they just were inconsistent there, and we find themselves crawling back into games. So the key is to pound the middle and shoot early and often.
Rouet driving, can't get to the middle. 3, shot from behind the net, won't count as a shot. Violation. Jeff Shatler, 29th of the year, has the Saskatchewan Rush up 1-0. A very tight defensive affair here from the Pepsi Center.
Welcome back to the Pepsi Center. The Saskatchewan Rush are leading the Colorado Mammoth 1-0. Here with head coach Pat Coyle. Pat, after a week off, how do you like your offensive performance so far here tonight?
I thought our first 5 minutes was really strong. We had some really good looks. Not so much the second 5, but I think we're okay.
Defensively, Saskatchewan with Mark Matthews, big, physical, and strong. Defensively, how are you preparing your guys to defend those matchups?
Just limit his opportunities. He's going to get his chances, but sort of put him where we want him to get his chances, not where he wants to.
All right, thanks, Matt.
Guys, thanks, Johnny, and kind of like what we were talking about. Good opening 5 for the offense. Second 5, not so much.
Yeah, and they just got to stick to their guns and keep working hard. And I'd like to see them go behind the goal a little bit more too. If Saskatchewan is going to start leaking out and hedging to those cross-floor passes.
McIntosh works his way in, hit a body. That shot was soaked by Robert Hope. Little backhand flip to the captain, Dan Coates, who's going to run up the floor with speed. He'll flip it to Eli McLaughlin, down to Wittig. Wittig, nice stick check, gets it back, but then he's hounded there by Thompson, and the ball will roll to Adam Shute. Thompson gonna run. Slow numbers, Colorado's back, and Thompson will leave it there for Curtis Knight. Matthews far side. Capito picks him up driving. Matthews, good slide help, but Matthews had dropped the ball anyway. And now Dylan Ward will move it to Lord, up ahead to Edwards. Shots 12-6 in favor of Saskatchewan. They lead 1-0 here late in the opening quarter. Ryan Lee down in the corner, Kyle Killen. Wittig. And Wittig stripped it, he gets it right back. Wittig drives inside, dunk shot, saved by Adam Shute, ball loose. And that one's gonna go up and play. Possession will stay here with Colorado. No, they'll say off Bitterelli and out, so Saskatchewan will take possession.
You can see those last few possessions, balls just staying on one side. Jamie, how important is it to get back to that swinging the ball east to west?
Well, it's huge. Just like Pat just said there, they looked great in the first 5 minutes doing just that, and they were getting this rush offense kind of out of sync and losing their matchups.
McIntosh, Schattler, low to high, shot, save Ward. They'll float it up to Hope. Got Gillis ahead of him, won't force it. And then he'll stop just shy of the rag line. Give it off to McLaughlin.
The penalty coming up here to Saskatchewan. What I like there, when your offense is not going well, you got to generate in other spots, and that was the first time we really saw some transition.
McLaughlin shot, that hit Jeremy Thompson, gets it right back. Behind the net, dunk shot, oh! Was that Vitarelli trying to slam it home, and I think he tried to go over top instead of around and to kind of hurt his angle, but nonetheless, Mammoth to their first power play of the night.
Hey, number 77.
Schattler's going to get the penalty. Here's the call.
Saskatchewan calling number 77, 2 minutes, slashing.
Slashing the call on Schattler. So the Mammoth, ninth best power play in the league as Rouet fed it to Vitarelli, and Adam Shute got the left arm on it. So let's see if the Mammoth can respond here late in the quarter. McLaughlin, low to high, Vitarelli, Killen, shot off the post. Loose ball, nice job by Killen to find that rebound. New 30, under 2 minutes to go. McLaughlin, Killen, they play 1-2. Up top, Killen, shot, saved by Adam Shute. Two good opportunities, still plenty of time here for Colorado. Vitarelli behind the net. Lee, McLaughlin, Vitarelli. Little pressure there from Rubish. McLaughlin, shot off the post! And Colorado will get it back again. 4 shots now on this power play. McLaughlin. The pass to Killen doesn't connect. Can he get there to keep this over and back? The breakaway chance here the other way. One-on-one, shot save, Dylan Ward! As he denies Kyle Rubish on the break. Chris Corbeil on the breakaway.
But he was giving Corbeil that whole right side. Baiting him, took it right away.
Last minute to play here in the opening quarter. Still 40 seconds remaining on the penalty. Lee, Killen, McLaughlin, Colorado strong left. Vitarelli, McLaughlin, Killen, Eli, shot, took a deflection. Good stick there by the rush D. And that'll be a shot clock violation. Great pressure up top by Saskatchewan's top 2 defenders.
Not enough movement up front. You can hear from the Mammoth bench here. They want more movement from their players on that power play.
15 remaining on the minor to Schattler, so about 11-second difference between the penalty and the game clock. So Saskatchewan will be able to kill this one off and then hold for the last possession. Check that, they're gonna have to, shot clock shouldn't have been running, should reset it now. No, I'm thinking summer ball, shot clock does run. 3, 2, sure shot saved by Ward Ray at the buzzer. A low-scoring defensive affair. Both goaltenders fantastic. A combined 26 shots, 1 goal against. Come back second quarter on BR Live and Altitude. The NLL is a proud supporter of Right to Play. Visit NLL.com/bid to participate in an autographed jersey auction running now until April 11th. You can also join the NLL in supporting their work by making a donation, so visit NLL.com/RTP to donate now. 1-0 Saskatchewan leads Colorado back here inside the Pepsi Center. Please join us in welcoming Lieutenant Governor Diane Primavera. How are you, Diane?
I'm great. How are you?
We're fantastic. A wonderful night here tonight, Lacrosse Out Cancer Night. You yourself, a 4-time survivor of cancer. What does this night mean to you?
Well, it's really important. I think the most important thing we can do is encourage people who are going through the journey that they can make it. I was told 30 years ago that I wouldn't live 5 years, and I never thought I'd be sitting here as Lieutenant Governor. So this is really important to encourage people and let them know how many breakthroughs there are that could really help them.
It is a special night, as mentioned, as we get back to live play, but how How important is the support group around yourself and others while dealing with cancer?
It's critical. I couldn't have done it without the support of my family and my friends. You know, the women that brought the casseroles when I came home from chemotherapy, took my kids while I was in chemotherapy. You can't do it without it.
Obviously, the Susan G. Komen Foundation is one that everyone is aware of. You yourself were part of the board with that company and that group. What's their role in helping us find a cure?
Well, you know, that is their mission, is to end breast cancer. So a lot of their money goes to groundbreaking research to find a cure and find out the best way to detect it and things like that. And then also to offer support to the people who are going through it and making sure people get their mammograms and diagnostics and treatment and that kind of thing.
How many Mammoth games have you been to?
Not many.
Not many. You're an elected official here in Denver. How important is it for you to get universal health care for Coloradans?
Well, both Jared Polis, the governor, and I believe that health care is a human right, and that it shouldn't matter how much money you have, where your zip code is, whether or not you have health care. So it's really important that everybody have health care.
Jamie?
You're talking to a couple Canadians here, so I think Teddy would agree, and I think I agree with that also, too, that it is a human right, and glad to see what you're doing.
Thank you.
Diane, thank you very much. Congratulations on beating the disease and ringing that bell and being a survivor and a fighter on what is a historic night here inside the Pepsi Center.
Well, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
That is Diane Primavera, the Lieutenant Governor here in Denver, and 13:21 remaining. Still 1-0 between the Rush and the Mammoth. Here's Jeff Wittig. Watched there by Rubik. Wittig driving, turned back, ball skip, killing, shot knocked down by Thompson. Moving the other way, Thompson. Thompson still has it. 28 on the shot clock. Near side, here's Ryan Keenan. Good defensive pressure there by Capito. Ball loose. Who's going to come up with it? Hope battling, and he's able to get a stick on it, but they give him a reset, and Saskatchewan's going to get a fresh 30. Shatler gets a pick from Keenan. Up top, shot, Church save, Dylan Ward. Got a foot on it, but another reset here for the Rush. Shot 17-11 in favor of Saskatchewan. One-timer shot soaked by Hope. Here comes Hope. He's going to leave it there for Ryan Lee. Late man Wittig. Mammoth fans here inside the Pepsi Center being all the noise as Ryan Lee rings it off the bar. That's 3 already, I think, tonight here for Colorado. They just can't solve Adam Shoot.
Well, that's what they need to do, though, is keep shooting the ball. Excuse me. Keep shooting the ball here because they've only got 12 shots so far. We've seen Dylan Ward make some huge saves. It's time for the Mammoth offense to respond.
Shot there from Matthews, just trying to get a reset. Loose ball picked up by Carnegie, headman up the floor. Here comes Ryan Lee, slow 3-on-2. Lee, Edwards off the tip of his stick, but is he able to find that loose ball? And he tried to bat it back, but nobody was there except Chris Corbeil of the Rush.
Got to shoot that ball there. That's a tough pass to a defenseman.
Off the bench, Keenan scores! Trailer in transition. Nice job by Saskatchewan to find him. And the Rush take a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, an unfortunate series of events for the Colorado Mammoth. Johnny, to your point there, good transition opportunity for the Mammoth, didn't take advantage of it. Kind of a sloppy change, slow to get back, didn't pick up Keenan. And that's a shooter shot right there. Nice little twister, had Dylan Ward leaning to his right. The ball went back to the far side of that top corner.
Keenan from Corbeil at 3:47 here in the second quarter. And the Rush have a 2-0 lead. As we mentioned off the top, the magic number for the Mammoth is 1, so they'd like to control their own destiny and get the win here tonight, and then work on climbing up the standings, as these two teams will play once more before the end of the season. That'll be the final game of the year. Inside feed on, unable to finish was Eli, and the Mammoth continue to get the opportunities, just unable to find that finishing touch. Shatler, Church, Around the top, he'll shoot, score! Around Edwards through Ward, it's 3-0. The Rush have scored 2 in quick succession.
A deep shot from outside. Nice cross-forward pick. It looked like Cornwall was probably just trying to get to the bench. Decided to give Church some extra space there. He just shoots around that screen, pulls it back to the short side again. Changing up their planes on their shots here. There must be the scouting report against goalie Dylan Ward. Get him moving one way, pull it the other side.
10:40 remaining here in the quarter. With 1-0 after one. Rush scored 2 quickly. Church from Schattler and Hossack. Time of the goal, 4:20. And Messenger will take the draw and win it cleanly. Messenger, nice job by Edwards to get back and just get a stick in the lane to deter the shot. This is a big defensive stop here for Colorado. Keenan trying to get underneath, slide help. Good job there by Gillis. Keenan still in the crease. Matthews, 8 on the shot clock. Matthews swing move, drive, flips it to Keenan. What are they gonna call? Oh, through the crease on Keenan. Possession will go to Colorado. Nice job by the officials to spy that one out.
That was a ridiculous pass by Mark Matthews. Look at this one-hand little flip. You know, you mentioned in the opening John Grant Jr.-esque, and that's definitely something a few players can see and be able to execute.
Killen to Ryan Lee, 10 on the shot clock. Far side, driving, shot, oh, off the shoulder, no, never made contact. Killen, Vitarelli, there's a shot and a save by Adam Shute. Shot 6-2 here in the corner. Make sure to check out Inside the NLL on BR Live. Join Devin and Renee this week, taking you inside the action on Inside the NLL every Tuesday, 6 Eastern on BR Live. Schattler around the top, shot kicked aside by Ward. That's a good save by the Mammoth tender, but Schattler gets the rebound. Church spins back topside. Schattler loses possession. And nice double team there by the Mammoth, ball loose. And it's picked up there by Carnegie. He flips it to Lord. Now here comes Lintz. Good job by the defense to headman the ball up the floor.
This is a very important possession for the Mammoth here. It feels like the Saskatchewan Rush have had the ball for the last 5 minutes of this game. Be good to see everybody get a touch and start crashing that middle.
Here's Lee. Gives it off to Rouet, who carries, drives. Skips it over to Eli, and he's double teamed and loses possession. Ball loose, Wardle battling. Picked up by Hossack. Here's Travis Cornwall. Cornwall thought about it. And pass will end up in the stick of Curtis Knight. And there's a minor interference called on McIntosh, but possession will go to Colorado, and we're off the break. Robert Church has his 21st of the year as he beats Dylan Ward back short side. 3-0 Saskatchewan from Denver.
All right, welcome back to the Pepsi Center. The Saskatchewan Rush are leading the Colorado Mammoth 3-0. I'm here with head coach Derek Keenan. Derek, it's been a defensive battle so far here. What has been the key defensively for you guys shutting down this potent Colorado Mammoth offense?
I think we've done a pretty good job taking away their time and space and getting good ball pressure when it's there. A little bit of early possession pressure when they don't have all their guys on always helps us, and Schute's been solid. You know, it's tough at the other end too. They're a good defensive team, and Ward's been really good, so it's going to be one of those, I think, grinder type games.
You know, talking about Dylan Ward, what would you like to see from your offense in shooting against him here in the next 5 minutes?
It's tough. I think we could swing the ball a little bit more. I mean, we're usually pretty good at that. If you keep it on one side too long, he's so good. Like he challenges well, and he's athletic. So you got to try and get him moving a little bit more side to side. But he had a couple nice shots in there. But you know, he's tough. Like he's one of the best in the business. So we got to be real good.
All right, thank you. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Johnny. Before we went to break, there was a little pushing and shoving on that dead ball, and because of it, Mark Matthews has got himself a penalty, so the Mammoth went to their second power play of the night, and for the last, Mammoth's 5 shots came on that power play. Here's Vitarelli. McLaughlin, Vitarelli, shot, trying to go 5-hole, save, shoot. Up ahead, Hossack. Gonna run, flip it back to Corbeil. And see if the man would put a little pressure on the ball here, try to get this ball back, Jamie, and get the power play back on the floor.
Yeah, they've been moving the ball well. They've been getting people through the middle. What I like about this Mammoth power play is, they always have one guy kind of crashing and, keeping the box of the rush looking over their shoulder constantly.
Shot there by Keenan, turned aside by Ward. Capito, up ahead, Gillis. 1:06 remaining on the minor to Mark Matthews. Here's Ryan Lee. Mammoth goes strong, right? Kyle Killen will set it up. He has it now. McLaughlin, Killen. McLaughlin, great jump there by Kyle Rubin. Absolutely read the play to perfection, and that's why he is one of the best defenders in the NLL.
Yeah, not only that, it also helps when I think the Mammoth offense is being way too predictable right now. They're holding on to the ball just a little bit too long, and that opens up great plays for Kyle Rubish and the sorts.
Shatler skips it far side. Church through a screen, hit a body, gets it right back, driving. Good defensive pressure there by Carnegie. That'll be a shot clock violation. 15 remaining on the minor. So maybe one last opportunity. Colorado's only got one shot on target here on this man advantage. They're being outshot 23-13 here halfway through this second quarter. McLaughlin will set it up. Killen. Matthews is out. Wardle. McLaughlin. Lee. Oh, that skip past the Wardle didn't connect. Vitarelli. Lee. Shot sailed tonight. Oh, Wardle stick it in. When you haven't been getting the bounces, you might as well get a bounce. Mammoth on the board. 3-1.
Well, it wasn't pretty, but the Mammoth will take it. And I think that's all they need is one, just to get them going, get this crowd into it. And you can see here, Lee misses the net. Wardle tries to pick it up, goes off the stick and in. Fortunately, he stayed out of the crease, but we have seen a lot of drop balls in this Mammoth offense. So to get one like that is nice. Boys will have a little chuckle about it, but they got to go back to work and start getting some better opportunities.
They've hit a few posts. They finally get a bounce. And maybe that'll take off some of the pressure for this Mammoth club. 6:10 remaining. Face off. Loose ball. One there by Thompson. Up ahead, Campbell. Ryan Lee will pick up the assist on Wardle's goal. Time of the goal, 8:50. Here come the rush. Dinsdale gets a pick, shot saved by Dylan Ward as he was stepping out. And then a delayed penalty coming up here to Dinsdale as he hits Stewart from behind into the boards. So Ward to the bench, 6-on-5 Colorado. See if they can take some advantage. Lee. Rouet will set it up, 6-on-5. And off to Lee. Kill it. Skip past one timer. Oh, they put it over top of the net. 5 on the shot clock. Lee with a shot. Saved there by Shoot. And the Mammoth will get their third chance on the power play there. 0 for 2. And man, they've missed a couple open nets here, man. On glorious looks.
Yeah, and they're zipping the ball around. There's no doubt they're trying to find each other. And it's either off the stick or the pass is just a little bit off. Be nice to see if they can connect with those.
32, 2 minutes boarding.
So just a 2-minute boarding call on Dinsdale as Taylor Stewart was going for that loose ball and gets bumped by Dinsdale and goes head first in the boards. Into the power play comes Colorado again. They would love to get one here. McLaughlin. Lee. McLaughlin 1-2, skips it through a shot, trying to go 5-hole. And Shoot was moving, but he closed the wicket. Long outlet pass to Corbeil. Good job by Rouet to hustle back. Oh, and then Rouet is going to take a penalty on the backtrack. And that's an unfortunate call, but the right one. So Shoot to the bench. 4-on-4 will play. Check that 5-on-5 with the goalie out. Probably a holding call, I would imagine. Matthews skipped it across and picked off by Joey Capito. And it's going to be a holding call on Jacob Rouet. 4:27 remaining here in the second quarter. And here is the call.
Calling number 20, 2 minutes holding.
So the Saskatchewan Rush will play 4-on-4 for a minute 14 before they head to their first power play. Come back and join us from Denver. 3-1 the Rush lead on Altitude NPR Live. Back inside the Pepsi Center, Mammoth trailing by 2, 4:27 remaining here in the second quarter. 1 year ago today was the tragic bus crash in Humboldt, Saskatchewan that killed 16 players, coaching staff, trainers, broadcasters on that bus. And you see right there the Saskatchewan Rush laying out a hockey stick on their bench. The hashtag Sticks Out for Humboldt went viral everywhere last year, and we want to send all our thoughts and prayers to everybody in Saskatchewan, the Humboldt family, in what is a pretty tough anniversary.
Yeah, even though we're lacrosse players, you know, we can all relate to that. We spend time on buses, and you know, the fact that the community in Saskatchewan is the way they are and stepped up, showed that they're all together is such a special thing.
Church loses possession, 15 on the shot clock. McIntosh down the lane. McIntosh shoots, put it over top of the net. 10 on the shot clock. Church gets it. Late in the 30. Pass doesn't connect to be grabbed there by Dylan Ward. He'll push it up ahead to Coates. 40 remaining on the minor to Dinsdale. So we still got some 4-on-4 to go here. Coates, kill it. Late man is Eli, and he has it now working with Wardle far side. Good stick check there by Rubish on McLaughlin. He's so good at that. Loose ball in the corner. Rubish watching two guys. Wardle has it. Lee, shot, saved by Adam Shute. Up ahead to Scott Campbell. It was a trade deadline pickup from Rochester. He was actually Rochester's captain, and Derek Keenan was able to lure him away. Dinsdale out of the box, so here go the Rush on their first power play. A shortened one with just 40 seconds. Matthews. Shot saved there by Dylan Ward. Loose ball picked up by John Lintz. Floats it up ahead to Hope. Under 3 to play here in a fast-moving second quarter. Rush still leading by 2 shots, 24-16 in favor of the visitors. Kill it. Watch there by Jordy Jones-Smith. 8 on the shot clock. McLaughlin driving. Spins away from trouble, but he's double-teamed. Ball loose. And that'll be a 30 violation. Here's Cornwall up ahead. Rouet is out of the box, back to 5-on-5. Cornwall, diagonal feed, maybe one too many, as he missed Curtis Knight, but able to find that rebound. Nice job there by Cornwall. 13 on the shot clock. Oh, it's picked up by Capito. On the breakaway, Joey Capito. And a nice job by Mark Matthews to sprint back. McLaughlin, and he goes running through a check, and he's going to get an offensive interference. And possession back to the Rush. Not often you see that on a guy carrying the ball.
Well, I don't think this is the game that the Colorado Mammoth want to play. Is this back and forth track meet, you know, transition. They need to get back to that settled offense where they're moving the ball and tiring out this Saskatchewan defense.
Pass by Shatler goes awry. Up ahead, Coates. Colorado running. Coates will leave it there for Wardle, who has the lone goal for the Mammoth. A ricochet deflection off his stick. Late man, McLaughlin. Lee into the corner, killing. McLaughlin, he'll shoot, save, loose ball, and Vitarelli just missed it, and it had some wicked English. Headman. Messenger, I think that pass was intended for Dinsdale, but Messenger was in the passing lane and accepted. Last minute to play here in the first half. Matthews, McIntosh, shot, scores! Snuck through Ward. It's a 3-goal game, 4-1, under a minute to play.
And you had a couple Mammoth offensive players caught back there in the D end. McIntosh broke his stick on that shot as he shot around his defender, Kyle Killen, and Wardle got a piece of it. Unfortunately for him, it did sneak behind him. And again, I mentioned the transition, the back and forth. The Mammoth have been sloppy on their changes, and the Saskatchewan Rush did a good job there taking advantage of that when you have two offensive players in the back end.
McIntosh is team leading 30th of the regular season. Shots 26-17. McIntosh from Matthews. And give it a... They say 18, but there's no number 18 on this Rush squad. It might be Jordy Jones-Smith, but I didn't think he was out there. Maybe they'll give it to Messenger number 8. It is. Messenger will pick up the second assist. Rush tried to go 2 for 1, but they picked up their own rebound.
I don't think I've seen that before where they tried it twice.
Here's Keenan. Dinsdale, 15 on the shot clock, into the corner, Knight. Keenan, got to get a shot up. He does, and that one just goes just wide. 3 on the shot clock. Church shot, a bouncer goes wide. And Coates can run onto this one to breakaway if he wants it. Here's Coates. Man off the bench. Oh, and Eli couldn't handle it. Schutt has it, and he's just going to hold on to it in a missed opportunity there late for the Mammoth, as the pass from Coates to Liger was just a little off, but a very low scoring first half, 5 goals in total. And here's a look as Coates runs onto this one. He maybe could have shot it, but he favors Eli. The pass just wasn't a good one. But the Rush lead at 4-1. When we come back, we'll break the first half down. Wasn't a lot of action, but I'm sure Jamie Shewchuk has a lot to say. Come back and join us from Denver. 4-1 Rush at half.
Back inside the Pepsi Center, 4-1's your score here on Lacrosse Out Cancer Night. Teddy Jenner back inside the broadcast booth. We all know that Dylan Ward is one of the best goaltenders in the National Lacrosse League, and we know what he can do on the floor. But off the field, he's a very quiet, somewhat calm and reserved player. Well, the NLL's Devin Caney caught up with Dylan and asked him about life, lacrosse, and what's so special about the number 45.
In kind of researching you before this interview, I found a lot of descriptions of you as having a quiet intensity.
Yeah.
Is that something, do you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with that. When, as a goalie, it's a pretty isolated position, and, at the end of the day, it's my job to stop the ball. And if I let something in, or a goal in, or a shot in, I don't want to be, pointing the finger at someone, because obviously, first off, they probably know that they made a mistake or something happened. Or if it's a shot that I should save, I don't want them turning around to me and giving me a hard time about it. So it's more or less just I'm going to stay in my lane. When there's something to say, I'll say something off on like a TV timeout. But for the most part, I'm just focusing on myself. I want to make sure that I'm doing my job and giving our team the best position that they can be in to be successful.
Do you feel like, you mentioned that it's kind of an isolated position, goalie. Do you feel like you carry a lot more responsibility than other positions?
I don't know if I would say I carry more responsibility. There's a saying that you hear, it's goalies get too much blame when you lose, and you get too much fame when you're successful. So it's just one of those things where you got to kind of do your thing. I've got a great relationship with our backup goalie Steve Fryer, and we kind of chat to ourselves in TV timeouts. I ask him what he's seeing. He'll tell me if he's noticing something on my end or what their offense is doing, and we just kind of keep to ourselves while also being involved with the defensive chats.
I want to switch gears a bit and ask you about your number, because you were number 45, and I think because you went to the Hill Academy.
Yeah.
And a lot of people might not know the story behind that number. What does that number mean to you, and why do you wear it?
Yeah, so like you said, I went to the Hill Academy, and when I was there, one of my classmates and teammates on the lacrosse team, Jamison Coolman, he unfortunately died due to an injury sustained playing lacrosse. And while he was at the Hill, he was number 45. So that's kind of been a thing where you'll see in the NCAA and now into professional lacrosse, a lot of number 45s coming around who are Canadian, and that's more or less just to represent him and to try to carry on his legacy. And actually, I still wear a bracelet on my wrist with Jamison and his number 25, which he wore for his local team. He was 45 at the Hill, so that's just kind of the thing that the guys do to carry on his legacy.
You see it, almost on every team in the NLL, someone wears 45. So is there kind of a, unspoken or spoken camaraderie between you and other guys who wear that?
Yeah, I think it's just a respect thing. I was fortunate enough to actually be at the Hill while he was there and kind of to see what he was able to do. It was a situation where he came in and he was a very hardworking person, but when he first got there, he was very timid. It was kind of a chance for him to change the course of his life and the direction he was heading. And he came in, he started out very quiet, didn't really say much. And then towards the end of that school year, before his accident, he'd changed his work ethic. He was doing great in school. He was really close with a lot of us. He was one of the guys. And to see the change that he was able to make in such a short period of time and then have this terrible accident happen to him, it was, it's just, again, a way for us to honor him and carry on that legacy and be able to share his story.
Lacrosse Out Cancer Night continues here as you look at some of the people on the floor who have beat cancer. We will continue to share their stories. Come back for highlights. Jamie Shuchuk will be back in the booth here from Denver, Colorado. Back inside the Pepsi Center, there's a good look at Gavin, a cancer survivor, as we continue to honor survivors and warriors of this terrible, terrible disease. Back inside the broadcast booth, Jamie Shuchuk's back in a very pedestrian first half, only 5 goals, but we really have to give credit to that rush defense holding the Mammoth to just 1.
Yeah, I think both goaltenders are playing well too. We saw a low-scoring affair in their previous matchup, but 1 goal for the Mammoth is just not going to cut it. And I found that the Saskatchewan Rush are putting on that early pressure in their possession that's really getting to the Mammoth offense.
We'll take a look at the highlights, and not a whole lot from the Mammoth point of view, but in the first half it was the Rush who jumped out to an early to great hands inside by last year's finals MVP Jeff Shatler, and then a late shot by Ryan Keenan off the bench. And Colorado didn't really have an answer early on, but both goaltenders have played fantastic here tonight.
Well, and it just seems like the Saskatchewan Rush have just carried the momentum and have just managed this game a little bit better than the Colorado Mammoth. A lot of errant passes. We see the goal by Wardle, is basically a lucky goal that came off of another mistake. So the Mammoth offense, the whole squad needs to just take a deep breath here at halftime, stick to their game plan, but definitely need to start responding to these rush runs.
Oh, look at your first half stats. Fairly even, but I think for Colorado, they can say, we didn't have our best first half offensively. We're only down 3. We got a long way to go, and we can do this.
Well, what stands out to me is that 0-3 on the power play for the Mammoth, and those are the opportunities when you're in a game like this. Like I mentioned, you have to respond to what the other team is doing, and the Mammoth just need to come out in the second half and be able to do that and get on a run of their own and create their own momentum.
At the end of the day, it's all about these final 30 minutes for the Colorado Mammoth to win, and they're in the playoffs. But here inside the Loud House, what an amazing moment as some very strong and courageous children ringing that cancer bell, beating cancer, surviving their treatment, and what a special moment here inside the Pepsi Center. Come back for second half action. Mammoth looking to climb back and get a win.
NLL on BR Live is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com to see how much you could save. Buy your 4-1 to score as the Colorado Mammoth make their way back out onto the Pepsi Center turf. A busy Saturday in the National Lacrosse League. 4 games on the schedule, 2 last night as we get closer and closer to the playoffs. We had an early game where the Calgary Roughnecks got a big win in Philadelphia. The New England Black Wolves clinched their playoff spot with a big win over San Diego, who had a tough weekend. There you look at it. Toronto beats Buffalo to help them climb up the Eastern standings. Georgia now tied for the best record in the league as they beat San Diego 17-10. And I mentioned a tough weekend for the San Diego Seals. No Austin Stotts tonight. He might be injured for an extended period of time. Not sure if Kyle Buchanan played. They lose 17-14 to New England. There you see the Calgary score, and Rochester pulling out a win against Toronto. But unfortunately for Rochester, that New England win, I believe, eliminates them from the playoffs. So the East standings should be solidified. Only one thing left to decide, and that's who's going to represent the West, that number 4 spot. John Gallant's been trying to get Kyle Rubisch, and he's chasing him all over the turf, just like he was playing.
He wants that interview.
I think he's going to interview him on the turf while the game's going on. And he's just reminding, hey, Kyle, let's talk. Down to John Gallant, who's with Kyle Rubisch down on the floor. Johnny?
Hey, no worries. I'm here with Kyle Rubisch. Kyle, you held the Mammoth offense to 1 goal there in the first half. What made you guys so successful as a defensive unit?
Yeah, we were just playing a little bit tighter on our men, kind of getting pressure as much as we could. They got a lot of shooters, a lot of quick guys, so we were just playing high pressure D.
Take us inside the dressing room there. What was the message from head coach Keenan on continuing the success here from the first half, but building on that as a whole team here?
Yeah, just keep winning the battles, just keep doing what we're doing. We know they're going to come hard at us here, and we can't have any let-ups, and just keep going and keep doing what we're doing in the first half.
All right, have a great second half. Thanks. Guys.
Johnny, get sprinting. We got a lacrosse game to play. Thompson and Edwards at the dot. Shoot to our right. Ward to our left. Oh, I thought he was going to jump over the boards, but nice of the rush D-Gate to let him in. So here we go, second half action. And Thompson wins another faceoff. There was only 7 in the first half, and he won 4 of them. And a good battle between Thompson and Edwards at the dot. Here's Curtis Knight. Church, late man Dinsdale. Now we're to the corner, Mark Matthews. Around the top, back to Shatler, little isolation on Capito. Now Church, shot, put it wide, loose ball. Still free, 3 on the shot clock. And they be grabbed there by the Mammoth, and here comes the captain, Dan Coates. Jamie, real important for the Mammoth. They get the first one here in the second half.
Yeah, 100%. We talked about it at halftime. They just haven't had any momentum, and there's another careless turnover. You know, we're always talking about the O guys getting all the glory in wins, but we got to point out the caused turnovers, 10 in the first half by this rush defense. And Kyle Rubisch talked about that, just getting out and pressure in this Mammoth offense, and it seems to be working.
Knight, Matthews, head of steam, shot, had his stick deflected, ball loose, grabbed there by Knight, and he puts one wide. And 3 on the shot clock, that'll be an over and back violation. So Colorado will take possession, see if they can hold on to it and have a solid 30-second possession. Wardle almost had a lane to the net. Far side, Rouet. Watch there by Corbeil. Back to Ryan Lee into the corner, Killen. Inside feed, and Rouet had to pop in and out of his stick. Now here comes Jeremy Thompson on the run. Slow developing 3-on-2. Thompson thought about it. And he'll flip it there to Dinsdale as players on both sides of the team on the floor will change. Dinsdale thought about shooting around a screen. Gives to Keenan. Tucks it inside. Takes a shot. Nice save by Dylan Ward. It's been a busy sports weekend here in Denver. The Rockies opening up their homestand. The Avs played 2 nights ago. The Nuggets clinching a home playoff seed with a big win last night over Portland. The Mammoth trying to keep the fun going here in Denver as the city is absolutely buzzing around their sport teams. Outside shot there from Killen off Cornwall and out. You were at the Nuggets game a few nights ago.
Yeah, last week they're a fun team to watch. And then that's the thing with them, they're a team. They don't really have any.
Rouet diving, shooting, trying to go short side.
They don't really have any big name superstars, but being able to watch the young Canadian Jamal Murray and Jokic is pretty impressive.
There's a good look at Rouet trying to sneak one short side on Adam Shoot. Curtis Knight isolated with Lintz, gets a pick. Skips it over to Matthews. Shot trying to go short side. Saved by Ward. Rebound, scores! Matthews got his own rebound, and Not too often see a body that size go airborne, but Matthews does, beats Ward. 5-1 rush.
Well, we talked about how Matthews can distribute the ball. Here he just follows up his own rebound. Edwards misses it. Nice tuck. Good fake getting Dylan Ward. Moving to that short side there and just reaches around.
And that's
a great effort there.
Defensively there for Edwards, unaware of where the ball was. John, you got to box out in that position?
Absolutely. You know, especially knowing personnel. You know, the shot's coming there. Yeah, you're just focusing on that offensive player, and it allows someone else to pick it up. But it's a tough situation there. You know, we've talked so much there about only one Mammoth goal, but you know they're only down 4 here, and you know I can hear at least from my side. You know, they want this pace up a little bit more. You know, they want some more transition, and they got to get the ball moving faster.
Here comes the rush. McIntosh, 10 on the shot clock. Far side, Keenan gets a pick from Schattler, thought about a shot. 5 on the shot clock, that one off the stick of Schattler goes over top of Ward's net. He's able to find a rebound, up ahead to Hope. Gotta get some energy in this building, and a goal will go a long way. Wardle. Whitting. Now here's Rouet, gets a pick from Lee. McLaughlin around the horn, takes the shot, put it wide, rebound Whitting, shot, scores! Give it to him! Dirty scores, it's 5-2.
Good follow-up to that play there by Whitting. Nice shot on the run by Eli. This is the goal. And you can see there, just reached around to that far corner. You saw Whitting try that a little bit earlier with the little dip and dunk, and there he just reaches around, gets a stick nice and high. Does a good job staying out of the crease.
Keenan's gonna throw this flag.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good challenge, as Adam Shute made the initial save, and it didn't go in cleanly. And Keenan just noticed that, so we'll have to watch the footwork of Whitting to see if this is going to be a good goal or not. But as soon as Keenan saw that second replay, he quickly grabbed the flag and threw it out onto the turf. So he's already challenged one and been unsuccessful, but this one might go his way.
Yeah, it'll be questionable, and obviously the question is, like you mentioned, Teddy, the original shot, the ball needs to go in before the player lands in the crease, and officials will do their job here.
So there's the initial shot. Whitting picks up the rebound, takes it. Yeah, it's going to be that left foot, I think, on the crease line, probably before it goes fully in. Let's hope, for the Mammoth's sake, that that's not true.
Slows down a little bit there.
The left foot is out. And where's the ball? That foot's on the line, but unable to see where the ball is and if it's crossed.
I think an overhead shot is going to be the best view. We can see a combination of the ball and his foot.
This might be a good one. Well, that right foot might have touched. That's really close. That's going to be tough to decipher, I think. Chris Williams takes a long, hard look at this one.
You know, I think that right foot there is going to be the determining factor. That's what he's looking at. Did that foot hit the white part? It looks like it did.
You know, from down here, guys, it's always interesting in these situations, noticing what personnel go out, you know, based on, you know, their judgment. You know, does the defense go out? Does the offense go out? And this is the first time I've seen all year where both teams are still sitting at their benches, you know, kind of waiting for this call to come.
So you can see the ball there right by the one in Adam Schute's jersey, still along his jersey, but you can't see the feet. So they might have to try and stitch a couple frames here together. Inconclusive, Jamie?
I don't know. If I was going to lean towards one way, I'd say that's no goal, which would be a killer to the Mammoth and their momentum here.
And I agree, but if you don't have a view that shows you precisely when that ball is over the line and Whitting's foot in, like I said, if you can match different cameras, angles up in at the right time code, then maybe.
Yeah, it's kind of a funky play. I got caught up in the
That
back of
fan
Schutt's
thinks it's a
jersey.
goal.
Well, I'm down here with Thompson. He thinks it's a goal as well. And I said, is that because you want to take the face off? He said, you know me pretty well. So down here, it's like we're all making the same looks. You know, we all see the same pictures.
That right foot doesn't actually touch the line.
From this point, yeah.
By mere millimeters. Left foot's good. Right foot, good. Ball, maybe. That left foot's definitely it, but it's now all where the ball is. And we'll continue to look. But Winnick's had a great start to his NLL career since he's been put in the lineup. He's got 12 points on the season, and he's been a massive energy guy. Ever since they swapped him in for Noble, the offense has had a little bit more jump.
Yeah, it's different offense from what we saw at the start of the year. Lost a couple guys, and we're going to get our.
And here comes Chris Williams. And it sounds like this is going to be. Oh, they're having one more little chat, but I think this is going to be a no goal from the crew chief.
Inconclusive evidence. We got a good goal.
There we go.
So like you mentioned, Teddy, it's the right call because it was not clear on any of those replays that the ball crossed the goal line before Winnick stepped in.
Well, I got some wrong information from my insiders. It is a good goal. Winnick will take it. The Mammoth will take it. Keenan 0 for 2. He doesn't have a timeout the rest of the way. That could be huge come the fourth quarter. Winnick from McLaughlin and Lee at 3:48. It's back to a 3-goal game. And Thompson, as he told Johnny, wanted to take the face off. He did, and he won it clean. Nice. Late man is Marty Dinsdale. Into the corner, Matthews. Keenan trying to set a high seal. Now Dinsdale has it near side. Comes around the top, gives a nice shot. That one just whistled wide. Matthews, they gave him a reset. That shot just went wide. I didn't think the initial shot hit. Want all the latest news, interviews, and more delivered straight to your inbox? Head to NLL.com and sign up for the NLL newsletter now. You don't want to miss a beat. Get it right to your inbox. Here's Kyle Killen. Watch there by Messenger, gets a pick from Rouet. Killen driving, shooting, oh, and he just put it wide. Rebound, Lee, and they'll call Killen through the crease. Unfortunate break there for Colorado. Here comes Saskatchewan the other way, 4-on-3. And Colorado is back, McIntosh. 1-on-1. Watch there by Stewart. McIntosh trying to get any sort of room to release it. 10 on the shot clock. Matthews, McIntosh. Oh, and a great job of the defensive end there by Taylor Stewart. He has been so good this year, John Gallant. Continues to be steady every shift.
Well, I hope so. He's got to keep the tradition of 11, a solid defenseman out there. But you know, you're right. And what I like about what he's done tonight, he's played very physical. Saskatchewan has taken the physicality of the Mammoth defense. He's the one guy giving it back tonight.
Rouet, Vittorelli passes behind him, and there's just at moments where the offense just not on the same page, Jimmy.
No, and it's kind of painful to watch, you know, especially being an offensive player. I've been in games like that where, you know, things aren't going your way. You maybe try to do too much, or, you know, you just can't figure it out. And, you know, the Mammoth really haven't had a clean goal. You know, questionable one there, and obviously the Wardle goal. So it'd be nice to, they just need to get a solid offensive possession where they get a legit goal to get their confidence back.
Good defensive play there by Gillis. Keenan driving, falling, delayed penalty coming up late. And Andrew McBride, the D coach on the Mammoth bench, hates the call. And Carnegie's gonna sit for 2 or less when we come back. 8:53 remaining. Rush leading at 5-2. Here's the call.
Colorado penalty number 27, 2 minutes holding.
Holding is the call. Rush to the power play. Jeff Wittig has his 6th of the year. He's pumped. It's 5-2 comeback for the third quarter. NLL on BR Live is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com to see how much you could save. By your hometown Toyota stores and the 2019 Tundra TRD Pro. And by Rocky Mountain Lions Eye Bank. Anyone can save lives and restore sight through eye, organ, and tissue donation, regardless of age, health, or lifestyle. Go to corneas.org for more information on signing up to become a donor. Rush to the power play, leading 5-2. Mammoth Lacrosse returns for the last regular season game in the Loud House next Friday. It's Fan Appreciation Night, and to thank the Mammoth faithful, we'll have $1 hot dogs, $5 beers. Check out ColoradoMammoth.com. Carnegie to the box, 2 minutes on the hold. The first 6:07 of this quarter, 3 shots by both teams combined. Here's Matthews. Diagonal feed. What a save by Dylan Ward. Post to post to deny McIntosh on the crease. Here's Ian Lord. Got to get it over the timeline. And Robert Hope just couldn't climb the ladder enough. And then
nice
took
job
a bit of
by-
a high stick from Messenger.
Nice job by Jeff Shatler running there with Hope to shut off the transition. Fortunately, Lord had nobody to pass to.
Here's Church, Matthews, Keenan. They play 1-2. Matthews down to Shatler, up top, Matthews, pump fake, had it deflected, loose ball. They're gonna say it did deflect, but it's gonna be a shot clock violation regardless.
So Jamie, at what point as an offensive player does the fact that you're not seeing the success you've had in the past, especially this offense here in the last 3 weeks, when does it start becoming more mental than anything else?
Well, I think at this point in the game, it's definitely more mental than anything, and I think it takes someone on that front end to step up and either get the guys going, just kind of get the mood up and take a deep breath. But I think it takes one of the leaders up at the front gate to pull everybody in and say, let's go.
30 remaining on the penalty to Carnegie. Matthews will set it up again here in the rush power play. Matthews, Keenan, high seal by Matthews. Shot saved by Dylan Ward. Colorado might have numbers here.
That's going to be
Floating
over him.
pass, Coates runs onto it, takes a step, shoot! Oh, what a save by Adam Shute! Oh, then a heads-up play there by the captain, Dan Coates. Not to touch that ball. Lynx has it. The Mammoth have killed it off, back to 5-on-5 as Coates try to go far corner.
That's a big stop. That would have been a huge goal for the Mammoth.
Here's Wardle around the top. Wardle shot. Oh, and he just put it wide. 10 on the shot clock. Into the corner lead. McLaughlin driving. Triple team. Loses it. Got to put one on target. He does. Kick, save, shoot. But there to corral the rebound was the sure hands of Chris Corbeil.
I know they obviously didn't get a goal there, but that offense was run at a much higher pace than we've seen in a long time, taking that momentum from killing that penalty off. Let's see if the Mammoth offense can build on that after this defensive stop.
Late start here in the possession for the Rush. 7 on the shot clock as Shatler swims and tries to go far side. Knight, shot saved by Dylan Ward, loose ball. Grabbed off the ricochet by Dylan Lord. Check that, Ian Lord. I don't know how many times I've done that tonight. Hopefully that was the first one.
He does have a brother named Dylan.
He does have a brother named Dylan. He did play in this league.
He played for the Mammoth.
The more you know. Good look inside to Lee from Rouet, just out of his reach. Mitski gives it off to Church. Vitarelli gonna sprint off, as will Wittig. McIntosh driving, can't get a shot up, down low feet. Keenan gets inside on a good save there by Dylan Ward again. He's been really sharp here in this third quarter. Garetano gonna drive, he's got a lane if he wants it. Garetano shoots, score! Give it to him! Garetano
I wonder if he's going to get a penalty too.
It's either going to be a penalty on Garetano, goal interference, or maybe a hit from behind. But nonetheless, Garetano's got one. It's 5-3, and Shoot might have took the worst of it.
We're going to get a good look at it here.
Well,
yeah, you can see that extra push by Thompson. That definitely forced him into the goalie. But nice job by Garetano to get the shot off.
And Garetano might even have been in the crease, but no flag for Keenan to throw. But it looks like Shoot's going to be okay. Campbell gave Garetano an extra chop. I can't see if there's anybody in the Rush penalty box as the Mammoth fans are on their feet, as this is now a 2-goal game.
It's got to be great for the Mammoth bench to see a guy like Garetano who's had a great game in the back end, very aggressive, very physical, and a great season opportunity there, and a great take to go underneath, run past 3 Rush defenders, take a big hit, and score a goal. So fans are into it. Hopefully they can get the Mammoth bench up as well.
Give Dylan Ward an assist. It's 5-3, 5 minutes to go. Mammoth got a little jump in their step. Here's Gillis, watched by Rubin. And Gillis will flip it to Ray. That was a little dicey. Lee, killing. Vitarelli into the corner, Eli McLaughlin. Eli around the horn, skip past to Ryan Lee, was behind him, gets it off the glass to Vitarelli. Backhander, oh, that one did miss the far corner by much. And Rubish will float it tonight, he missed it, ball loose. McIntosh. Down near side, McIntosh has it back from Knight. Around the top, can't shoot it, deflect off the helmet of Edwards. 5 on the shot clock, Knight. Shatler from distance, save Ward. Mammoth would love to get this loose ball, but Knight finds it, popped it up in the air. And it'll be grabbed there by Tim Edwards. That assist by Dylan Ward, the 50th in his career. Mammoth bench and the fans, even you, Jamie, screaming for a penalty. None forthcoming. Shatler has it at center.
Yeah, Shatler definitely stopped the Mammoth players' momentum there. No call by the officials.
Pass too high for Dinsdale. He collects it off the boards. Watched there by Coates. Shot saved Dylan Ward into the netting. And out. We'll go to break. Julian Garetano, his first goal and point in the NLL. Beat Shoot. It's a 2-goal game. This is going to be a great finish in Denver. There's a look at Steve Fryer and Dylan Ward, who makes his way back to the Mammoth. Then he just picked up his 50th career NLL assist. That's not bad for a goaltender.
No, it's great, and he's, reminds me of an old Mammoth goaltender in G. Nash, who I thought was one of the best in the game, making that save. But also you have to have transition guys, and Dylan Ward's had guys like Joey Capito over the last few seasons, and G. Nash had Josh Sims, who scored a lot of transition goals here in this building.
Did Wardo play with Josh?
No.
That was G. Nash.
No, we went through several goaltenders in between Nash and Dylan Ward.
Johnny, you seem to recollect those times.
Yes. Yes, I do.
Back to live action, 3:25 remaining in the third. Rush leading it by a pair. Church on his wrong side, back to Shatler. Hope locking off behind the net. Shatler shot, saved Dylan Ward. And Ward will leave it there for Coates. Still time to get 1 or 2 before the end of this quarter. Wittig. Dicey bounce pass to Wardle coming off the bench. Into the corner, Killen. Watched there by Corbeil. McLaughlin high center. Back to Killen, 10 on the shot clock. He'll shoot, try to go 5-hole, and Adam Shoot stood his ground. And now here's Mike Messenger. Messenger will leave it for McIntosh, who will watch by John Lintz. McIntosh spins and rolls, shoots. And that'll go off Dylan Ward all the way back into the defensive zone. Mark Matthews backtracks. Here's Ryan Keenan. First overall pick, I believe the 2017 draft. Shot there by Curtis Knight. Try to go 5-hole, turn aside by Ward. Loose ball, battling. Who's gonna come up with it? Mammoth gonna get called for 8. Nope. Church picks up that loose ball. Here's Dinsdale. Keenan trying to get underneath, flipped it up, picked off by Capito. 2-on-1. Capito, now he's just gonna go on his own. Pump fake, shoot! Oh, what a save by Adam Shoot! Denies Joey Capito.
Great run there by Joey Capito to take it. Does his patented, keeps the stick nice and high, couple of fakes, a little jump shot, but Shoot read him all the way.
Matthews on the far side half boards, watched by Carnegie. Takes a shot, scores, shot it over the pick. You cannot give Mark Matthews that kind of time and room. He's got a pair, it's 6-3.
You can see it from this perspective. Dylan Ward was trying to look around his own defenseman, Lord, there to see where Matthews was releasing that ball from. Matthews has his eyes up, overhand shot, used the Mammoth defenseman as a screen.
There you get a good look. Matthews just kind of wasn't looking towards the net, then at the last second turned his gaze and fired.
Well, and you notice
now got 30 on the year.
You notice when Matthews shoots the ball from the outside, it's not necessarily a really hard shot, but it's so well placed, and his release out of his stick is so quick, and and his shot is deadly accurate. It's tough for any goalie in this league.
And especially in that case, Dylan never saw it, and so as that. We've seen that a few times here tonight. The Mammoth defense got to recognize that personnel, right? Get out on those hands.
Shatler and Campbell pick up assist on Matthews, second at 13:35. Last minute to go here in the third. A low-scoring goaltenders duel between Ward and Adam Shoot. That bouncer just goes wide, not going to make it on target. Loose ball picked up there by Gillis, one-on-one if he wants it. Gillis. Got to be careful the backside double. Splits the double. Finds his man. Shot! Oh, that was soaked by the leg of Brett Minsky. And Lee's going to backtrack. Flips it towards the bench. Colorado got to be careful. 8 on the shot clock. Kill it. Fired from deep, goes wide. Vittorelli puts it on target. Save Shoot. 18 to go. Adam Shoot to the bench. 6-on-5 here for the Rush. McIntosh, 10 in the quarter. Late man is Matthews. Church to Matthews. Shot sailed wide. And that goes out of play. Colorado wants it quick. And they're not exactly giving Ward that ball very quickly. Bombs one. Oh, that was going close, but Keenan tipped it. And you can see Pat Coyle there, not exactly happy with the officials. Would have loved to see him give his goaltender that ball quick. 15 minutes of regulation left. Garetano's got a goal. Matthews has a pair. Come back for the fourth. The chase for the championship has begun, and only one team can be crowned champion. Be sure to catch all the action live as the playoff race heats up. Round 1 of the NLL playoffs begins May 3rd through 5th on BR Live. 6-3. Saskatchewan leads Colorado. 15 minutes of regulation. Mammoth 11 shots on goal in the first quarter. They had 12 shots in the second and third quarters combined. So I guess the MO is shoot the ball.
Well, and the key is what the Rush defense are doing. They're not allowing the Mammoth to set up. They have that early pressure, but also, too, a lot of careless turnovers by this Mammoth offense. So the combination of that is the reason they only have 3 goals going in the fourth quarter.
Thompson and Edwards battling. Loose ball. Hossack has it, 2-on-1. Hossack bouncer, save Dylan Ward. Loose ball picked up by Hope. Quickly up ahead to Coates. As there's a look on the Hossack shot. Turned aside by Ward. That's a big one to start the quarter. Rouet, winning, pumping, driving, shooting. Oh, that one just went wide. pushing the tempo. Here comes Scott Campbell. Has a lane down the pipe. Campbell pump fake, scores. And that could be a big goal as Scott Campbell gets his first as a member of the Saskatchewan Rush. And it's 7-3, a 4-goal lead, the biggest of the game.
What a beauty goal by Campbell. Great patience, stick up nice and high, waits out Dylan Ward, just keeps going, reaching around. We saw you know, what I love about the Saskatchewan transition is everybody runs. You can see Chris Corbeil, the captain there, run a little bit of interference.
Throwing the flag.
And here comes the flag.
I love they kept the ball. Rubish gets the ball.
And they just threw the ball to, I believe, the two Rush fans in the stands.
Yeah, threw it right in the stands. Yep. Now he's plays. I think he thinks he can play for the Rockies here the way he tossed that ball.
So, I believe it was Andrew McBride who was watching the replay and quickly told Coyle to throw the challenge flag. And so, Chris Williams will have to come over and take a look at this one. Maybe Scott Campbell faked himself a little too much.
So you got to give the ball back. If you keep the ball because it's your first goal.
Yeah, you got to go in the stands and get that ball back.
And then do you give it? I'll let you call that.
Yeah, it's clean.
It's clean, eh?
Yeah, the right foot went in after the ball goes in, and Jeremy Thompson going down the side tunnel towards the Rush dressing room. And I think this one is going to be pretty clean in. This might be a better look. And not going to see the feet. Again, I think an overhead view might help if we had one. We get one.
We talked a little bit about it earlier about you know, from down here on the floor that, you know, you can get the perspective before the official call is made, you know, on what personnel goes out. You know, Saskatchewan's got their face-off team out there ready to go.
Yeah, it's a clean goal.
Yeah, that looks like the ball is in the mesh before that right foot eventually hits down on the ground. But they're going to take this frame by frame here inside the Pepsi Center. He's pretty close, but I think Derek Keenan might blow a gasket if this one gets called back.
Well, he might blow a gasket if this takes any longer.
That's true.
You know, he's now asking me, you know, but I can't make that call.
Two very lengthy challenges we've had tonight.
I think that's
Chris Williams. Yeah, I think that is the view.
One, yeah.
Chico has his decision, and we'll get the answer right now.
The ball across the goal prior to the shooter stepping in the crease. We got a good goal.
So the fans can keep the ball as Scott Campbell gets his first officially now as a member of the Rush, and it's 7-3. Starting to get the way this game's been played and how well Adam Shute has been playing. It's starting to get to that point where the Mammoth are going to have to get desperate. Only 23 shots on target, and Schute's only given up 3.
Well, I think you need to just be more aggressive. We saw the last offensive possession, Wittig, a good, hard, aggressive underneath move off of a swing, and just went to the net. I think that's what the Mammoth offense need to do here, and, you know, possibly draw a penalty in the doing that.
Garetano almost picked that one off. Garetano up ahead, Vitarelli. Killen, tried to go 5-hole off the inside of the foot of Shute and bounced wide. And it's just kind of been that night for the Rush. For the Mammoth. They haven't been able to get the bounces. Shatler. Down in the corner, McIntosh. Late man is Matthews directing traffic. Shatler. Church shot, save Lord. Loose ball picked up by Lord. Gonna float it ahead to Capito. On a break, pump fake, shot. Oh, Adam Shute again denies Lightning. And Shoot will float it up ahead. That's 2 huge breakaway denials by Adam Shoot on Joey Capito.
What I like what Shoot is doing is he's keeping his shoulders up, right, and their shoulders and arms up there, and he's from that first quarter, he's really taking away the top half of that net.
Matthews trying to go far side, and Ward was quick to react. 13 minutes remaining in regulation. A 4-goal lead for the visitors as the Rush try to keep pace with the first place San Diego Seals in the West as they lost a pair of games this weekend. McLaughlin flipped it back to Ryan Lean. He couldn't handle it. Ball still loose, and Shoot will find it. There's Messenger across center. Knight into the corner, Church. He'll run high with 15 on the shot clock. Back to McIntosh, ball loose. And it picked up there by Hope. Russia kind of tried for that look a couple times. Pushing it back down the same side where it came from. Wardle all alone on the far side, gives to Vitarelli. Slow change here for the man. Killen. McLaughlin's shot hit a body. 7 on the shot clock. Killen inside Vitarelli. Got to get one on target. He does, but he put it wide. I thought that looked like it caught a piece of Adam Shoot. They're not going to give him a reset.
Yeah, he's even adjusted his helmet. He went right off his shaft and then his helmet.
Shatler had the opening goal of the game here for the Rush. Late man Knight, back to Shatler. Trying to work his way underneath, skipped it over Dinsdale. Pass tried to go back to Shatler, was deflected. And he's double teamed, then dispossessed, ball loose, picked up there by Dylan Ward. Deposits for Mammoth season tickets are on sale now for the 2019-2020 season. Learn more about all the great benefits of being a Mammoth season ticket holder. Check out ColoradoMammoth.com. Oh, and Eli McLaughlin just put one over the top. How many times have they done that tonight, shooting?
Yeah, they've been shooting high all game long, and we haven't seen a lot of shots go low on Shoot. He's definitely starting to read these Mammoth shooters and not give them much to shoot at.
That's what you can hear from the bench here. Yeah, just to your point, Jamie, especially on those in tight or even breakaway type situations, starting to drive that ball a little bit lower.
Matthews tried to feed it inside. And it might have been a back over call. The fans are screaming for one. I thought it might have been as well, but nonetheless, Colorado gets the ball. Just over 10 minutes to play in regulation. Ryan Lee. Swim move past Billy. Rouet, Killen on the run. Shot scores! Killen keeps the streak alive. 7-4, 10:03 remaining.
Well, Killen did a nice job waiting Shoot out there. Shoot was way off his post. And some great interference there by Vitarelli in the combination of him and Wittig. And he got Shoot out and dipping. And that's just a well-placed shot there. Back to the short side.
Killen had 20 points in his last 5 games. That's his first point of the night. Give assists to Rouet and Ryan Lee, who's got 3 assists. And he has had a fantastic rookie season. And I know the Colorado Mammoth coaching staff were very high on him, and they're starting to repay him for their drafting him out of RIT. There's Ryan Lee, under 10 to play in regulation. Wardle faked it, keeps it, tries to get around Hossick. Shoot, only just put it wide to the short side. Now, McLaughlin's gonna have to chase Hossick all the way back. Hossick forced it to Chris Corbeil. That's a turnover. And it's handled there by Taylor Stewart.
Good opportunity for the Mammoth to grind this tired rush defense off of that reset.
Whitting, diving, scores! There we go! Whitting's got a pair there within 2. 9:09 remaining in the fourth.
I like when he scores. It's exciting. Again, that's exactly what this Mammoth team needs. Just go to the net. And Whitting does just that, uses his big frame, has his head up the entire way. And it's not easy to run around number 4 on the Saskatchewan rush defense. And that puts the Mammoth back within 2 with a little bit of life.
Jamie, what I like the Mammoth did there is they cleared through that crease. And you can see Rubish, he was up where the left shooter would be, forcing this man down, but because they vacated that crease, there's no one there. That allows that play to go hard underneath. Little wrinkle that Sean Williams put in there on that offensive possession.
Whitting from Killen and Rouet at 5:51. Ensuing face-off. Messenger. Off the bench, shot, great save, Dylan Ward. That's a huge stop on Curtis Knight. And with 8:44 to go, the Mammoth will be on defense down a pair as Jeff Whitting, the guy they call dirty, got a pair. Can he get a third? Come back and find out. 7-5, Rush leading by a pair, 8:44 in regulation. Next week, the final regular season home game for the Mammoth as they return to the Pepsi Center and the Loud House. The Rochester Night Out's coming to town, Fan Appreciation Night, and to reward all our great fans, $1 hot dogs, $5 beers, ColoradoMammoth.com for more details. Jamie, am I going to see you if they're $1 hot dogs?
That's a great deal.
It is $1 hot dog, $5 beers.
Can't go wrong with that on a Friday night.
It is a Friday night game. Matthews. McIntosh, Dinsdale, high seal. Back to Church. They've tried to run that play a few times tonight. Oh, McIntosh, split dodge underneath, up top, Church scores! That could be a dagger late as Church beats Ward. Far side under the glove, 8-5 Rush.
Well, that's this textbook Saskatchewan rush offense. We've seen that year after year with this squad, and you can see just a little righty cycle. There are a lot of throwbacks, drive throwbacks, and it gets the Mammoth offense collapsing. There's a lot of switching going on. Good pick there by Dinsdale, and just a well-placed screen shot there that Dylan Ward did not see at all.
I don't, as a defenseman, Ray, I don't like that double when you're coming to his face. You can see the double coming, and he steps away, makes that easy pass. And you're right, Jamie. Dylan never saw that at all.
Church from McIntosh, 6:38. Time of that goal. Edwards and Thompson battling. Thompson had it for a split second. Ball loose, grabbed by Shattler. Shattler will be patient. Wait for the change. Now Keenan. McIntosh. Church isolated on Robert Hope. Now Keenan inside feed. Oh, great save there, Dylan Ward on McIntosh. Now Hope pressured. Ball loose. Good pursuit there by the Rush and Curtis Knight. Shattler. Knight. Shot saved. Loose ball. Edwards. Stewart. Gillis. Trying to run past Shattler, and what a trail check by the veteran. Here's Cornwall. And Gillis tried to get around, but Shattler with a late check and maybe got their legs tangled, but nonetheless, a great defensive effort. Keenan, swim move, shot, scores, walked right around Lintz and beat Ward 5-hole. And Keenan has his second of the night, and it's now quickly right back to a 4-goal game, 9-5.
And a nice job by Matthews, just cutting the middle, creating that space. A great swim move. That's something I never never had in my bag, so I can appreciate when guys can do that. And John Lintz may have peeked over his shoulder at the wrong moment there, and Keenan just walked right around him and put a 5-hole on board.
Keenan from Matthews and Cornwall. Got a cross check there, John?
You got to, yes, you know, and it's especially in that situation as the low man, right? We've spoke about it quite a bit, can't get beat underneath, but yep, absolutely breakdown right in the hips.
Coates wins the draw, but Campbell the quicker to react. And here come the rush again, just trying to eat away this clock. McIntosh. A win here tonight would give Saskatchewan the season series. Ward floats one to Capito. Slow numbers here for Colorado. Capito splits the D. Delayed penalty coming up. Nice job by Capito to draw that call. Ward to the bench, 6-on-5. Killen. Here's Rouet. Lee. Rouet behind the net. Killen. One-time feed. Fitterelli, and he fired it wide. So a delayed penalty coming up. That might be Jordy Jones-Smith making his way to the box. Can't quite see the number. It's Nick Beelich. There's the call from Chris Williams.
Penalty, 2 minutes, holding.
Colorado 0 for 3 with a man advantage. Be a great time to get their first of the night. And here's a look at the replay. Capito had a chance, but there you see one hand on the stick, one hand on the body. Easy call for the officials. And so Kyle Killen will set it up. Ryan Lee, Jacob Rouet, Vittorelli, and Eli McLaughlin. Killen, shot, save. And maybe a little too quick. They got a look they wanted, but early in the 30. Corbeil will run. Watch there by McLaughlin. Flip it to McIntosh. Shatler. Shatler, slow and methodical. Around the top, shot through a screen, save Dylan Ward. Man all the way up the floor if they want to hurry. It's Vittorelli. Shot. Adam, shoot, another. Oh, what a wise play by Vittorelli. Find the garbage, put it in. A power play goal, 3-goal game.
A great initial first save by Shoot on the breakaway. Vittorelli tried to surprise him and just catch this and turn around, put it to the short side. Unfortunately for him, you saw Mitski kind of push him out of the way there to try to make the save because he knew where the ball was. And that's a big power play goal. The Mammoth will take it any way they can at this time.
5.5 to go. Take them any way you can get them. Out of their 6, there have been some ugly ones tonight for Colorado.
Absolutely, but again, like Johnny mentioned earlier, they're only down by 3. I feel like it could be a lot worse.
That's a big face-off win. Capito. Vittorelli unassisted at 9:29. Rouet trying to get underneath. Good defense there by Cornwall. Late man is McLaughlin. Split dodge. Driving. Oh, and he tried a one-handed shot but couldn't get it off. Good slide help there by Nick Beelich. Cornwall. Dinsdale into the corner. Church. Shatler got hit by the sniper. But able to get the pass off to Keenan. 10 on the shot clock. Keenan tried to flip it inside. Loose ball. Grabbed there by Lintz. Colorado running. Good job by John Lintz to be patient, not force in transition. Every possession crucial here for Colorado with 4.5 to play. Killen. Vittorelli. Bounce pass. Wardle. Near side, Killen. They'll work a 2-man game with the diagonal feed. Tried to go to Vittorelli, hit off winning stick. 2 on the shot clock. And Colorado will get a shot clock violation. They had a look, couldn't finish. Corey Vittorelli's got his first of the night, 20th of the season. Under 5 to play. Can the Mammoth pull it off? Come back and find out. Time now for the Geico play of the game. And it's Mark Matthews. Off the boards, gets his own rebound, diving, scoring. Makes it 5-1 early in the third. And that is your play of the game brought to you by Geico. Big man flies. Big man can fly.
It's gotta hurt when you're that big and you fall.
It's surf, man. It's soft.
I don't know. When you weigh that much, you're that tall. Just can't feel good.
9-6, 4:09 in regulation. Loudhouse trying to urge their home team on. A win, and Colorado's in the playoffs. McIntosh with a head of steam around the top. Thought about it, gives off to Keenan, and you can definitely see Saskatchewan taking care of the ball, using as much of the 30 as they can. Keenan shot, save Ward, loose ball, grabbed by the captain, Dan Coates. Mam is sprinting off the floor. And now looking for help is Coates. We'll go bench side Ryan Lee. Killer, watched by Corbeil. McLaughlin, stutter step. And that pass just missed Ryan Lee, who was standing still. Just been that kind of night for the offense. Pass is just a little bit off. And maybe that week off is like we thought last week, coming at the worst time.
Well, and I think too, it just goes to show you that Eli McLaughlin has not had his best night. It goes to show you how important he is to this offense.
Dinsdale, Schattler, spinning, shooting, save Dylan Ward. Under 3 to go.
Here goes Ward to the bench. Headed your way, Johnny.
6 on 5. See what Colorado can come up with. Ruel will set it up. McLaughlin, high seal, twister just missed. Rebound, Vitarelli scores! Another greasy goal. It's a 2-goal game, 9-7.
And that's what Vitarelli was brought here to do. Just that, we saw in his last goal, this very good patience, the veteran presence that he brings to this team. And it looked like they're trying to draw up a play for Wittig to go behind the net. Vitarelli just smartly takes it off the wall, puts it past Shoot. You see how far out Shoot is. He's struggling to get back there. Vitarelli does a good job staying out of the crease too.
So late as this game goes on, face-offs become that much more important. Colorado won the first 2. Jeremy Thompson and Mike Messenger have won 12 of the next 16 draws. Edwards and Thompson will square off here. Trying to gain over top possession. Thompson won it, batted it back to Corbeil. Vitarelli from McLaughlin and Lee. 12:23 the time of the goal. Saskatchewan in possession, leading by a pair. This was the score the last time these two teams met. Knight, shot, save Ward, rebound Church. Oh, Hope thought it was a no reset, got to hurry back. And again, Saskatchewan, little North Carolina Four Corners offense here, Shuey.
Yeah, and they're just smart to just hold this their second chance opportunity here. Go to the net late or look for a rebound shot off of Dylan Ward to try to get that ball back.
McIntosh, inside roll, Knight, late in the 30. Pass picked off by Capito. Oh, Capito unaware of Keenan behind him. That's a great check by Ryan Keenan, forcing the turnover. Now the ball goes loose. Schattler. Oh, then a late check there, and that's going to be a penalty. And that really could be the game as Edwards wrapped up Schattler to the ground. Saskatchewan was probably going to get called for an 8-second violation, but Edwards, a little aggressive, will send the rush to the power play.
Yeah, definitely an unnecessary penalty there, especially at this point in the game. This takes the winds out of the sails of that Mammoth bench, I'm sure, but you know, even right here, good check, but Keenan kind of grabs Capito right there. definitely a missed call, and you know, there's no doubt you have to call that on Edwards, but they did call Keenan on that hold on Capito. That doesn't happen in the Mammoth. They're in a completely different position, but that's not the case.
So 5-on-4 here for Saskatchewan, up a pair, $1.16 in regulation. Probably no urgency at all in the Rush offense. And they're just gonna hold and just kill time. And not really much you can do here if you didn't have it. You might press, but there's an extra guy, so. And they're gonna send the guy to the bench early. Matthews shot. That one goes wide. Off the glass. Capito gets bumped. That'll be a shot clock violation. Capito up ahead. McLaughlin. Ward to the bench. Under a minute to go. Oh, that pass knocked off by a stick. Who was that? Hossack knocked it down as McLaughlin tried to force it. Messenger. Oh, a little rusty gate check there by Rouet, unsuccessful. Schattler. Corbeil's back in the defensive end as Ryan Lee is just waiting for any chance. 10 on the shot clock. Church. Messenger. The Saskatchewan Rush are gonna take this game. It's gonna be a repeat of game one between these two teams. 4 on the game clock. Stewart. 9-7 your final. The Rush come into Saskatchewan and take it. They extend the streak to 8 straight wins over the Mammoth.
Yeah, pretty impressive win here tonight for the Rush. They definitely played like their championship team, and it goes to show you their scouting report was on point tonight. They kept the Mammoth young guns at check there in the offensive end, and you know, I think a great performance by Adam Shute. I think he definitely steals the game here for the Saskatchewan Rush.
Well, they don't clinch, but they still have plenty of opportunities. 3 games left. They at home to Rochester, and then on the road to San Diego, on the road to Saskatchewan. Time now for your 3 stars of the game, brought to you by the fine folks at Ford. Mark Matthews, your #1 star. He had 2 goals and 2 assists. Your 2nd star, Ryan Keenan. He had himself 2 goals. And then your 3rd star, Jeff Wittig, the energy guy for the Mammoth, 2 goals. But we talked Matthews off the top, and he was a difference maker tonight.
Yeah, the ball goes through him, and you know, the Mammoth did do a good job keeping the outside. But again, it just goes to show you the way that this Rush offense is designed is to move the ball, and you're going to have your superstar make diving goals like that. And you know, he's just so calm and patient with the ball, and he just trusts his teammates, and he was definitely the leader up front there for the guys in black.
Time now to go down on the floor with John Gallant, who has a quick word with Brian Keenan and Derek Keenan. Now he's got our Ford player of the game, Mark Matthews. Johnny?
Mark, you know, over 50-plus shots here tonight for you guys. What was the key offensively for you guys here this evening?
We just, all week, we talked about going hard and just playing hard and getting out of running plays every shift, and we did that tonight. Got to the middle a lot, and obviously 50 shots on net is pretty good, and Bordeaux's one of the best for a reason.
You know, talk about your veteran presence on your team. You know, there was some highs and lows, a lot of energy, you know, throughout this game tonight. But you guys, you constant, kept cool. You know, next shift. You know, talk about how important your championship mentality is on your bench tonight.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, a lot of our guys are, you know, been together for like 8 years and kind of know how to control each other and figure everything out when we're, you know, when something doesn't go our way. And you know, as an offense, we stick together and just keep playing. And you know, saw it tonight when we, you know, get a couple late.
You know, as you're leading into the playoffs, what can you guys take from this road win here tonight? You know, as you're, you know, making your march back to the championship again.
Yeah, this was a big one for us. Having San Diego lose a couple times this weekend really helps us. We want to get first place in our division, and you know, have home floor the whole way, hopefully. And you know, this is just a start.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, guys, back to you.
Thanks, Johnny. Take a look at the updated West standings. Saskatchewan at the top 9-6, but only a half game ahead of the Rush, who are 8-6. Calgary, a game and a half out of first at 8-8. Colorado drops to 6-9. They're 3 games out of first, and then Vancouver still alive as Colorado loses.
Well, that season series has been clinched by the Rush here, but keep in mind that Colorado has a season series with Calgary, so they got to hope for the Calgary opposition to play well, and Colorado, their destiny's in their own hands at this point.
We'll come back and break things down. The Mammoths score a season-low 7 goals as they tie a season low. We'll come back and break down from Denver. 9-7 your final, the Rush win. The Colorado Mammoth on Altitude has been brought to you by Ford F-150. Get the truck that was made to work. Ford F-150, built better, built stronger, built Ford tough. And by the Denver Outlaws. 2019 tickets are on sale now. Visit denveroutlaws.com or call 303-OUTLAWS for more information.
As they file out, not in the happiest of moods, Colorado Mammoth fans will get one more chance to cheer on their team next week. But in the final here, 9-7, Colorado drops to San Diego. Jamie Shuchuk, Teddy Jenner back with you. And 32 shots on net's not usually going to get you a lot of success. The Mammoth offense just wasn't there tonight.
Yeah, we've seen that inconsistency from this Mammoth squad earlier on in the season, and when their guys aren't going, it's going to be tough. And Dylan Ward, 55 shots on goal, put his team in a position, but there was just no answer there, and really no momentum that we felt here on the Mammoth side tonight.
Let's go back and take a look at the highlights of this game. It all started with 2018 NLL Finals MVP Jeff Shattler catching a tight one inside and beating Dylan Ward. I don't want to say that was a theme of the night, but all the bounces and breaks kind of went Saskatchewan's way tonight.
Yeah, and I think it's just one of those things we heard Mark Matthews mention in his interview there, the veteran presence of just being able to calm down and pull everyone together. This team knows how to win these games, and it showed that veteran leadership there on both ends of the floor was what made the difference. And what more can you say about Adam Shute as well? The guy definitely came in and stepped up his game here tonight.
Yeah, he's won back-to-back games for them now against Vancouver and Colorado. And, with Evan Kirk out for an indeterminate amount of time, probably still a few more weeks to go, they're going to have to ride the shoulders of Adam Shute, and he's proved that he can handle that load playing the most minutes he's played in his career.
Yeah, and exciting when you have guys like Mark Matthews up front, you're going to get goals. However, my buddy John Gallant always says defense wins championships, and I think that's why this team is built around their goaltending and their defense. And you saw good defensive play there by Garitano with the Mammoth taking the ball hard to the net, and just not enough there from the squad in white tonight.
Ryan Lee and Eli McLaughlin had quiet nights, but Jeff Whitted continues to be an energy guy. He had 2 big goals trying to get this team back in the game. But it was interesting because every time Colorado would try to get themselves back in this game, Saskatchewan would answer.
Well, and I think the face-offs were crucial tonight too. Jeremy Thompson definitely stepped up and won those face-offs to keep the momentum. You see the ground balls there, 80 ground balls for Saskatchewan Rush, and they just kind of dominated in the stats tonight.
Down on the floor, John Gallant has witnessed this game from the best perspective possible. Johnny, your thoughts on what was a back-and-forth defensive effort?
Well, to your point right there, Ted, being down here, compared to the last 3 weeks and seeing Vancouver, right away what you notice is how big Saskatchewan is, how big and strong they are from their defense and even up into their offense. Mark Matthews is the biggest player on the floor. And I thought tonight, Colorado was able to withstand that a little bit on the defensive end. Earlier on, they were able to get to the middle. But as the game wore on, the defense started to collapse more, the offense to the outside. And, Colorado's going to have to figure out a way with their coaching staff, of how to, counteract that. They're a smaller team, they're a quicker team on the D end, and same thing on the offensive end. So, talking with Pat Coyle last couple weeks, he's mentioned his offense. They're young, they don't know any better. And I think, hopefully on the offensive end, they get over this game, right, and they get ready for next week. But, they're going to see Saskatchewan. If you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. And over the past 4 years, this franchise has been the best. And so Colorado's going to have to figure out a way, to get over, that stigma of this championship team and own the middle of the floor.
on the eve of WrestleMania. Way to get a Ric Flair quote in there, Johnny. Thank you for your great work as always. I mentioned 32 shots by the Mammoth, a season low, and they got to be better come next week when Rochester comes in town for the final home game of the regular season. One last time for myself, Teddy Jenner, Jamie Shuchuk, and John Gallant. Your final score, Saskatchewan 9, Mammoth 7. Thanks to the Altitude crew. Join us next Friday night, Fan Appreciation Night. Rochester comes to town for an East-West showdown, 7 p.m. face-off. Visit altitudesports.com for all your programming schedules. This has been a presentation of BR Live, Altitude Sports and Entertainment, your home for the Colorado Mammoth. One last time from Denver, Saskatchewan wins at 9-7 over Colorado.